What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a video that I promised almost 2 weeks ago now, I think, by the time you're seeing this. But today we are going to be comparing the Kat Von D Liner X on one eye versus the Fenty Flyliner on the other eye. If you have never watched one of these videos before, when I do an eyeliner, usually what I like to do is apply them to exactly the same makeup on each eye, and then discuss exactly how they applied, what I thought of each applicator, what I think of the packaging, we compare the prices, blah, 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 etc., etc. And then I take you with me for the rest of my day. If by the time we come to the end of the day, they still look pretty good, I usually do a little water test on them to see which one is more waterproof, if they do in fact have a waterproof claim. Before we even start though, isn't it lovely how festive nature is being for us? You can see the beautiful fall leaves right out my window. Wow, Mother Nature. So that's the plan today. We are going to zoom in, we're going to get real up close and personal, and we are going to see which one of these liners applies better and which one wears better. Before we get started, please do not forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second, because it really helps me out and I always appreciate it. And if you are new here, please do not forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you around for future videos. And if you wait till the end, it may autoplay as you walk away to get the snack, and then you forget, and then we part ways forever. And oh god, that would make me so sad. I think that's everything you need to know before we get started. So let's just jump in to the comparison between these two lovely, lovely felt tip eyeliners. Okay, so before we apply them, let's talk about the packaging. The packaging on these, I don't really think it's fair to do an absolute comparison of the packaging, considering that Liner X is probably going to have different packaging when they finalize everything after the initial like Liner X, it's mystery phase of selling it, and they actually like give it like a final name and all of that. So obviously, as of right now, the actual like outside packaging on the Fenty one is much nicer. As far as the price, they are the same exact price. They're both $20 US. However, in spite of the fact that the Fenty packaging is larger visually, the actual product that you get in the Fenty Flyliner is only 0.55 milliliters, while the Liner X is 1.6 milliliters. That's 3 times as much. I'm not sure how that affects how either of them last, because I have yet to go through a whole container of either of these, but just out of the gate, Liner X has a lot more product. I'm gonna hold my hand like this for a second so you can get a clear look at what the tip of each of these look like. They're both a felt tip. The Fenty one looks a tiny bit longer maybe, but not by much, but the shape is a bit different. The Liner X has a tip that is thicker at the base and gets really, really pointy toward the end. And I have found so far that it gives me a really, really precise line if I want to, but I can also get a lot of product out of it if I need to do that as well. The Fenty Flyliner is great for getting a lot of product out of it when you want to also, but I haven't found that it's quite as precise. Now, as far as felt tip liners in general are concerned, I like them for application, but they annoy me because they eventually get like a little wiggly little hair at the tip. Just kind of F's up how you get your line. And then, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like 1 or 2 little strands of something that just wiggle off the end all crooked. So normally I find that that happens really, really early on in my use of a liner. The Stila one is a great example of that, because I love that felt tip liner and then I hate it once it gets the wiggle tip. Now, granted, I've only had Liner X for a little more than a week now, so I really can't say whether it's going to develop that or not, but the Fenty one is only developing it a little teeny tiny bit, and it's really not so bad. Like, I actually didn't really even notice that it was happening until I'm like staring really close up for this comparison. But now that I'm looking, it does seem like the tip is getting a little bit uneven and starting to get like a little wiggly looking. But in general, I've had this Flyliner for probably a couple of months now, I think, and I've used it a lot and I have no issues whatsoever with how it applies. So far the felt tip seems to be improved over your standard felt tip liner as far as that is concerned. Of the two, I do like Liner X better, and I am hoping that the tip of Liner X stays intact for the entire life of it. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted on that. Okay, just to give you an idea of how they swatch on a flat surface, I did some swatches on the back of my hand. The last time I did this, I live swatched them on the back of my hand, but because of the position that you have to be in to do it on the camera, I jacked it all up and it really wasn't a good example. So I did it over here real close to it. So I was able to do it, and I'm just gonna show you which one is which. So this is a thick swatch of the FENTY Flyliner and a thinner swatch of it. As you can see, it does give you like nice, thick, even coverage, but it's a little bit difficult to get it super even when you're getting like a really, really fine line. And this is the Liner X. That's a thicker swatch of it and a thinner swatch of it. And in my opinion, that's a much nicer, neater straight line, and it was a lot easier to do with that tip. So I do find that those hand swatches are pretty reflective of how they apply to the eye, because the Fenty one, the only complaint I had with it is I didn't feel like I could get it quite as precise as I like to. Now it's time to apply each one of these to one eye. I'm going to use Liner X on my left eye and FENTY Flyliner on my right eye. One more thing that we're gonna make note of during the application process is Liner X claims that it is especially good at staying black over a shimmer eye. So I used one of the chunkiest shimmers I own. This is Honey Drip from Nabla Cosmetics. So we will see how it holds up over such a chunky monkey. All right, round one, FENTY Flyliner. Okay, so that's the Flyliner. I had to work pretty hard to get that super precise. So we'll see if Liner X does better as far as that's concerned. Okay, and that is the side with Liner X done. I would say that the finish of them is about the same. They both kind of have like a satin sort of a finish, not matte, not shiny, somewhere in between. So as far as the tip and the application are concerned, I am definitely liking Liner X better. I found that it was a lot easier in general just to do the application, and it was also a lot easier to make it opaque over this very, very chunky shimmer. There were a couple of spots where I had to like dab over it once or twice, but on the Fenty side, I like legit had to go over like the entire thing several times to make sure that it was covering that shade. So while this might not be completely 100% opaque over every shimmer you've ever had, it definitely does do an above average job of that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I am going to wear this for the rest of the day and let you guys know how it wears. So I will check in with you guys in a few hours. It is Halloween today, and you guys are not going to be seeing this on Halloween because I'm not going to be posting this until probably next week because I'm going to be traveling. But I am going to do a little bit of a wear test today and bring you guys along with me. We are just going out to see my niece trick or treat, and then we were having a family bonfire over my brother-in-law's house. So I will check in with you sometime in between of that, and then I will check in with you and show you how each one wore before we go to bed tonight. And if they are both still in place, like the last time we did one of these comparisons, I will do a water test on them after I remove my lashes and see which one of them holds up to a little spray of water in my face better than the other. So I'm gonna go finish getting ready, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Okay, it is 5:19, and I know I didn't say what time it was when we started because I'm a doofus, but it was approximately 2:30, so it's only been a few hours, but I wanted to do a first check-in and also show you guys what these look like in natural light so you can see a little bit more about the opaqueness that I was talking about. That is Kat Von D Liner X, and that is FENTY Flyliner. They both look pretty good right now, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting anything abnormal to come of these two liners at this point in the wear test, but I figured I would do a check-in just in case because you never know. I could have been having my watery eye problems and it could have been a goddamn mess by now. So I want to go do a bunch of Halloween stuff and let you guys know at the end of the night how it's still holding up. Okay, it's 10:28 p.m. I am home from Halloween festivities now. We just went over my family and like a little bonfire, and I saw my niece in her little costume and everything. It was delightful, but it has been a long day and I am starting to get a headache. So we are doing our final check-in now. So far, these are wearing exactly the same. They're both still completely intact and pretty much perfect. So I have a little bit of like black mush underneath my eyes here on both sides. 99% sure that's not the liquid liner though. I think it's because I put a different black liner pencil through my waterline than usual. I thought it would be fine. It wasn't. Neither one faded, neither one moved, neither one transferred. But before we do that, I'm gonna take my lashes off because we don't need to have them on there for this. I'm gonna spray myself with the water. I'm gonna let it sit there for a second. We'll see like if anything like drips on its own, and then I'll rub over it a little bit while it's wet to see how it holds up to touching while it's wet. There's nothing dripping, so that's off to a good start on both sides. Every time I do one of these tests, I'm like, really? Is this what my life has come to? Okay, I'm gonna wipe my finger over the Fenty side a little bit. We did this on the test that we did between Fenty and the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and Fenty held up really, really well. Well, this time it actually didn't hold up as well as it did on the first test. That's so strange. It held up so much better the first time. Okay, on this side, we're gonna do the same. That's crumbling away too. Not quite as much, but like at this point, does it really freaking matter? Wipe my eyes a little bit. So I think at this point, it's safe to say that both of those hold up to water if you just get wet. But if you try to touch it after it's wet, that's when it all goes awry. But essentially, they performed the same. So what it really comes down to is the application. And in this case, the application, I think, of the Liner X was far, 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 far superior to the Fenty one. I felt like the Fenty liner, it's not bad. It's definitely like, it's a little tedious to get it like perfect around like the tip of the wing and stuff. So when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, literally, because we are at the end of my day, I think Liner X is the clear winner just because they performed really similarly, but Liner X has more product and was easier to apply. But I do have to say that they are strikingly similar in the way that they look once you apply them and also in the way that they wear. So if you already have the Fenty one and you're pretty satisfied with the way it applies, I wouldn't run out to buy Liner X instead. But if you are looking at both of them, or maybe you need a refill or something, I think my choice of the two is definitely Liner X. All right, you guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for coming along on this little eyeliner test with me. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know, after seeing the comparison, which one do you think would work better for you? Which one are you more interested in? Do you have them? What do you think? Whatever your experience is with these products, please leave it in a comment down below. I would love to hear about it. If you feel like you want to keep up with me between videos, I am at Miss Queen Face on pretty much every social platform, but the one you're going to catch me on the absolute most is Instagram. I post new looks over there all the time. I post my lip art over there. We do some more creative stuff than we do here on YouTube, and I do all of my PR unboxings and Q&As, and you know, like planning and polls for future videos on my stories. I would love to have you there for that. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, because that helps me out and I super appreciate it. It also lets me know that you guys actually appreciate this type of content so that I can keep making more of it. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you around for future videos. We're gonna have so much fun stuff coming because the holidays are coming, and I would love to have you here for all of it. That's all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and talking about makeup, and I'll see you in the next one.